What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be doing the 1,000 round review on the Taurus G3C. Before we do that, I want to thank my patrons and supporters. Thank you guys very much. Because of you guys, the channel's still here, and because of that, we do cool stuff over on the Patreon page. If you want to sign up for Patreon, all you got to do is go to the description of this video, click the link, and sign up. Also in the description is a link to a local shelter that I really like to support, named Iowa. I'd really appreciate it if you'd go over and give those kids some help. Also, a link to the t-shirts that the missus created. If you're interested in some Honest Outlaw t-shirts, you just click that link and you can get them right there. The Taurus G3C is a subcompact 9mm striker-fired pistol with some interesting features. It has a 3.2-inch barrel, making it a pretty good size for carry, with a 22-ounce overall weight, making it a really good size overall for kind of a do-it-all gun. Think similar in size to a Glock 26, maybe just a little bit longer in grip, but a little thinner overall. Kind of similar to the Glock 43, actually, which we might end up doing a comparison video of later on. Comes with 3 12-round magazines, one more than the G2C, which is a nice upgrade. Comes with a Tinifer matte black coating, which is a little bit superior to the G2C, which is another upgrade. Flat face trigger, front slide serrations on it. It has a manual safety on it that you can choose to use or not. That's up to you. I personally ignored it in the testing, but it's kind of a nice little spot to rest my thumb, I guess. So overall, not the worst thing I've ever seen, but manual safeties on striker-fired pistols generally are not the best anyway. They're kind of just glued on there, not really a part of the original design ergonomics. That's kind of how it feels to me overall. The controls feel very good. The texture is nice. And the main upgrade to the G3C over the 2 is going to be the sights. So as you can see, there's a serrated blacked out rear, which is a very nice sight picture with that white front dot there that I would have preferred was like orange or something, a little bit more high def, but hey, for a sub $300 pistol, those are pretty good sights. On top of that, they're Glock sight compatible. So if you want to get rid of these and put some Glock sights on there, I'd recommend Ameriglow Hackathorns. They are around 50 bucks. HD front sight, blacked out rear. Awesome sight setup. I have that on a lot of my guns, actually including my Glock 43 right here. I think these are actually the Spartans, but imagine that front sight with kind of this rear sight. But really good sighting setup for the money, and because they decided to mill these for Glock sights, you can choose whatever sights you want. You can go to Dawson Precision. Any sight ever made on the planet is made for Glock, so a lot of options there on the G3C. Moving keeps me warm.
Yeah. Being inside keeps me warm.
I didn't know you were filming.
You never do.
I mean, I do sometimes. That's pretty good for a $300 pistol, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Let's try her again.
Do it.
What would you use this gun for? Well, I think this would be a really good option if you went into a gun store and were just looking for maybe your first handgun, maybe if you were looking for a concealed carry gun that could also flex in a home defense role. If you just wanted to have kind of a one pistol, if you're looking for just one pistol, the Taurus G3C fits that niche fairly well. It's a really good size for carry, whether you're going to appendix carry, small to back, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 14 o'clock. If you want to put it in a holster, pocket holster, or if you want to put it in a purse, wherever you want to carry this, it is a really good size overall. Again, as you can see, not much thicker than the Glock 43, and in other dimensions, actually a little bit smaller. And this gun actually holds 12 rounds, which is pretty cool. So 12 round capacity, one in the tube, and then you're going to have 9mm power. It does a really good job overall for home defense too, I think. You could add a light to this relatively easily, and 12 rounds of 9mm will get the job done. So overall, I think it'll flex into a lot of roles, and I think it would be good for most people looking for a handgun. fun to shoot. That's a category that I think a lot of people gloss over, but I think is really important. If a firearm is fun to shoot, you're going to shoot it a lot more often, and you are going to have just more training and more gun handling with it. Overall, you're going to be more comfortable and you're going to shoot it better. That's important for a smaller gun. Smaller guns are easier to carry, but they're harder to shoot. That's kind of the thing that the gun community has been chasing for a really long time. Big enough to fight with, small enough to carry. So overall, I think they did a good job with that. I think it's not too small to where it's super snappy, but I think it's just good enough to easily, comfortably carry while still be able to shoot quickly, up close, and at distance.
Okay.
We shot a lot of different types of ammunition. We shot Pine Valley frangible ammo. We shot Federal 115 grain training ammo. We shot Phoenix remanufactured ammo. We shot American Eagle. We shot some 124 grain Fiocchi, and we shot 25 rounds of Critical Duty out of this guy because most people are going to buy this for a carry gun, and I just wanted to see if it would function hollow points, and it seemed to. And Critical Duty, Critical Defense are two ammunitions that I use a lot, along with Federal HST and PDX Defender, but I didn't shoot any of those. I just went with the ballistic tip bullets in this guy, and they did really well. As far as quality control goes, I do want to mention this. I have had 1,000 rounds for the G3, 1,000 rounds for this, and like 2,000 rounds for the G2C now, and I've had no malfunctions. Here's the thing though, with a $275 gun, which is what I got this for, if you're looking on the market for one right now, you're probably going to be looking more like $300 to $400-ish. The market just changes very rapidly, especially during times like these. So overall prices are a little bit higher than they were even a few months ago when I bought this. Still going to be a lot cheaper than most of the other guns you're going to see, like an M&P. Maybe you might be seeing M&P for around a similar price, but it's definitely going to be cheaper than a Glock, an H&K, a PPQ, anything like that. So getting back to my point, circling around, quality control on these could be a little shoddy. Now, they have gotten a lot better. I did talk to the manager of a gun store that I go to a lot, and he was talking about the just the revamping that Taurus has done with their employees and their manufacturing and all that stuff to try to bring a higher class of product. Taurus was known for a long time to just bring out just kind of cheesy, really cheap made firearms for a pretty cheap price. And nowadays, especially with these and some of the other guns that I have for review as well, you can tell they're putting a little bit more quality, a little bit more time into manufacturing these, and they're doing a better job overall making a higher quality product. That being said, when you get into budget guns, you still have the possibility of getting a lemon. You have that possibility with any firearm or any mechanical object whatsoever, but the cheaper you go, the more likely you are to run into that. So just keep that in mind when you are getting into the budget game. The ergonomics were good. The new coating didn't hold up any better than the old one. I know they were making a big deal about that, but it didn't hold up that much better. The trigger feels very similar, maybe feels slightly better. The texture is still really good. I love the G3C texture. It feels just like an M&P 2.0 in these little spots here. I wish I had it up here too, but I'll take what I can get, especially considering the price of the firearm. You can get pretty high up on it. Like I said, the safety is kind of cheesy as well, but it feels good, and you can really grip down and you can really rip those shots and shoot very quickly. It works.
Whew. Getting my cardio in.
The trigger guard is not cut super high. As you can see, there's a lot of space between the magazine release and the trigger guard. They could have gone up higher than that. But overall, it still gives you enough space, especially with the plate on the magazine there, the extended base plate on the magazine. So that helps me get a little bit better grip. If not, I'd be still hanging off a little bit. So a flush fit magazine just simply would not work for me. But 12 rounds in the pipe, and it shoots fairly quickly. Memory pad there for your thumb, that's kind of nice. Accessory rail, just a single accessory rail, but it does work. Front slide serrations that are usable, but you are getting relatively close to the muzzle there. So if the gun was loaded, I would probably come back here like this and just use these. They are cut in very well, so they're very usable. There is a flat notch on the sight if you want to run that off your boot, your big toe, that kind of thing. However, I believe these, I'm not sure if these are metal or plastic. They are metal, so they're not going to break, hopefully. But I did have some replacement sights for the G3C a while back that were metal, and they broke, so you never know. When in doubt, if you're worried about that, just upgrade the damn sights. Overall, I think the ergonomics of the G3C are very nice for what they are. They don't feel any different to me than an M&P, PPQ, that kind of thing. If I pick the gun up, I can run it fairly well. So the accuracy on the G3C was a little bit worse than the G2C in my opinion. And the reason for that was because the damn sights were off out of the box. I had the gun shooting like 2.5 inches low at 7 yards, and then significantly lower than that at distance. And how you fix that? Well, you can either file the front or the rear sight depending on what your issue is with sight height. If it was off side to side, you could drift it a little bit. That's a little bit easier. But my solution is going to be to buy some Ameriglo Hackathorn sights and throw them on there, and I won't have to worry that anymore. So that is what I'm going to do. However, just be aware that that could be an issue. You could also just adjust your aim for it as well, which is what we did through the course of the review. However, that would get annoying after a while. And if you were going to keep this pistol as going to be your main gun, I would really suggest a set of sights that shoots where you aim. Well, I gotta say, I'm not very accurate with this one. By comparison to the G2C and the G3, this one right out of the box is shooting about 2 inches low. So you notice I missed all those plates? Well, I'll try to put my sights there, right above it. There we go. It's just hitting low. I mean, obviously you could fix that by buying new sights. It is reliable though. More reliable than the SIG M18, that's for sure. Overall though, the trigger feels relatively nice. I know it's supposed to be an upgraded trigger, but it feels almost exactly the same as the G2C. Not saying that's a bad thing, because it's not a bad trigger at all. The cool thing about the G series is that it does have the double strike capability. I'm trying to say that a little dramatic because it's always such a talking point, but one of the reasons I should say it's designed for is so if you have a dead round, just like a double action pistol, you could reset it and fire again, and hopefully it would fire the round. That's cool, but what I actually use it for is dry fire practice. This is a fun gun to do dry fire practice because you can just aim at a light socket or something like that in a safe environment with no ammunition. By the way, don't be morons out there. If you're going to do dry fire practice, make sure you be safe. I always assume that people are going to be safe. Just be safe. But if you're in a safe environment and you're doing dry fire practice, this is a really fun gun because instead of racking the slide every single time, you can just keep pulling the trigger over and over again, which is pretty nice. So the reset is obviously going to be different. So if you're worried about reset, this is the actual reset of the firearm when the gun is operating. Not bad at all. This is going to be, the reset's going to be all the way out if you're using the double strike capability. So just be aware of that. The accuracy of the gun was good, easy to hit at 50 yards, a little bit more difficult to hit at 75, and so on, just like every other subcompact pistol. As far as accuracy goes, it's a mixture of sights and trigger, mostly trigger, and I can manipulate this trigger relatively well, so I'm fairly accurate with the gun. The reset is relatively short, and the texture is pretty good, and the ergonomics are good, so I can fire the gun relatively quick as well, which I think is honestly more important. One-shot accuracy is nice, however, most concealed carry situations happen somewhere in the area of 15 yards, so I can shoot fairly well within the area of 15 yards, so I'm more concerned about speed, putting those rounds down quickly, and this gun can do that, so it makes me feel very comfortable having it. So overall, even though it's a cheap gun, I would consider it a very formidable carry piece, honestly. I could shoot this very quickly. It's been very reliable. The ergonomics are good. 12-round capacity of 9mm on tap. What can I say? It would make a very good gun. Probably the best handgun under $400, or at least right up there with the best handgun under $400. If you can find a Canik TP9 SF, what is it? Not the SF, the subcompact, the SC. That's a really good gun as well. And there's a few others also. The M&P 1.0 would be a really good gun. M&P 2.0, but for the money, it's hard to go wrong with the G3C, and we will be doing some comparisons overall, so let me know what you think. I think a fun comparison would be the Glock 43, just because, like I said, when I was playing with them today, I found out they were similar in size, and that's kind of weird because I carry the Glock 43, so it would be kind of a fun comparison overall. If you have any other ideas, let me know. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wow, this sun is bad.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I'm out.